everyone, my name is Alyssa Gostola, and my video essay topic is of a made-up character called Slenderman. I first came about this topic in an anthropology class I took this semester with the topic of the undead, monsters, and the paranormal. This class was very interesting, and I recommend both the class and the teacher. Slenderman was a very intriguing subject because he is so new, and the power of pop culture has changed the original story of him so much. Unlike many urban legends, you can find where exactly he was created online. He was made by a guy named Eric Knudsen, who uses the pseudonym Victor Surge on a forum where people submit photoshopped pictures and try to prank people into believing their photos are real. The creator of Slenderman was completely surprised that his character took up so much interest, and from the article, The Story of Slenderman, the Internet's Own Monster by John Biggs, states, an entire history, an entire corpus has grown up around him in a way that would have been impossible a decade ago. Slenderman's creation is entirely from the internet. For the rest of this video, I would like to discuss the creation of him and how a collaboration of ideas from people really pushed Slenderman's identity into existence. Slenderman has also really appealed to horror fiction fans, and there's a huge following of him on the internet. First, I'll start off explaining who Slenderman is. Quoting from the website called Creepypasta, he is described as a man with extremely long, slender arms and legs, though different photographs and enthusiasts disagree on this fact. Therefore, it is theorized he can contract these tentacles at will. He is described as wearing a black suit strikingly similar to the visage of the notorious Men in Black, and as the name suggests, appears very thin and able to stretch his limbs and torsos to inhuman lengths in order to induce fear and ensnare his prey. Once his arms are outstretched, his victims are put into something of a hypnotized state where they are utterly helpless to stop themselves from walking into them. Oh my god! Woo!
Did you just see that?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I just jumped up. Ooh. Holy crap. Was that plant? Nope, it's on fire. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Right? I'm very awake now. If I see another flash or anything, I'm gonna completely freak out. Hopefully that last part didn't scare you too much. As I was doing research for this project, there was construction going on outside my apartment, and workers were installing electricity poles, and one of the poles connected with the electricity wires. Thankfully, everyone out there was okay and no one was hurt, and I felt like the explosion made a similar sound to what happens when Slenderman is near you. What a funny coincidence. Okay, so back to Slenderman. The beginning of the making of Slenderman started out in 2009 on a forum called Create Paranormal Images, and people would submit their fake picture in order to try and make it to paranormal websites and make people believe that the photo is real. The creator of Slenderman actually has stopped developing his character a few years ago because he, quotes, doesn't spend a lot of active time on the internet since I usually have a lot of real life stuff going on. Yet for others, they spend so much of their time looking up information of Slenderman and adding details to his story to make him more thrilling and scary. Aside from people wanting to know more about him, people have actually created things about him. There has been a game made about Slenderman, many people have created short videos of him, and more details keep getting added to his made-up history. There are forums and web video series of him, and they all have the same depiction of Slenderman, appearing fuzzy on the screen. He never says anything, the viewer just gets a sense of dread. When asked why do people like him, one fan online said, I like him because most creepypastas try to scare you with blood, gore, and if you're lucky, hyper-realistic blood. Slenderman scared me with psychological horror, making me scared of fields, trees, and sometimes nothing. He has made me as paranoid as I've been in my life, and I love the thrill. His design is simple and terrifying because it can make him visible in a field or invisible in a forest. His humanoid figure makes him seem real, like him stalking you can happen. I think the biggest thing that makes him interesting is that nobody has any full idea what happens when he gets you. Slender hunts you, but he doesn't bang on your door, claw at your walls, or howl at the moon. He just stands, he's just there, standing, waiting in the corner of your eyes. It's bogus. You know it. You're just seeing things because you're tired. Then it gets real. You have to get away. Despite your best efforts, Slender is still there, always standing, always waiting, always watching. One of the crazy made up details of Slenderman is that you don't know what he does to his victims, yet he encourages others to kill people in order to please him. Some people understand and know that he is completely fake, yet that is not so for some young people. In May of 2014, there were two young girls, who were both 12 at the time, that lured their friend into a forest and tried killing her because they wanted to get Slenderman's attention so that they could go live with him in his mansion. Thankfully, the victim survived and is doing well. And sometime in the month of December this year, these girls will be standing trial for their crime. There was also another crime where a teenage girl attacked her mother with a knife to try and get Slenderman's attention. These young kids got so wrapped up with Slenderman that they didn't even question whether or not he was real. They felt that since it was on the internet, he was a real live being. On the Creepypasta Wiki, the moderator, David Morales, said, we are not teaching children to believe in a fictional monster, nor are we teaching them to be violent. I'm glad he stated this, yet one thing that I really wish was talked about with young kids and even adults is that not everything you see online is real. People create things online to get attention and to sometimes scare and troll people. In one of the articles we had to read for class, it talked about teenagers' use of social networking sites for intimacy, privacy, and self-expression. I really liked this one sentence by the author Sonia Livingstone that said, young people have always devoted attention to the presentation of self. Friendships have always been made, displayed, and broken. Strangers, unknown, weird, or frightening, have always hovered on the edge of the group. In terms of their affordances, social networking sites enable communication among ever-widening circles of contacts, and they invite convergence among the hitherto separate activities of email, messaging, website creation, diaries, photo albums, and music, video, uploading, and downloading. The convergence of made-up stories of Slenderman have just made his character thrilling and mysterious. Slenderman really shows how the power of the internet can really help reinforce and change myths. People have collaborated so much to make Slenderman seem real that many people feel like he really is.